sidelines of the Group of Seven or G7 meet in France, the US has fired an irritant between the diplomatic ties of the two countries. We're short of a win against Iran in a war after 3.5 months. The US has been trying to exhibit military supremacy by hitting and halting commercial shipping in the shipping channel near the Strait of Hormuz near Iran. Since April 13, US forces have disabled 8 ships and turned back more than 100 others. But on Thursday, US forces targeted 3 foreign-flagged merchant vessels with the Indian crew members on them. The strikes on the vessel off Oman killed 3 Indian sailors. Oman's armed forces rescued over 60 Indian crew members from these 3 vessels, but we're learning that 3 of the Indian sailors, they have lost their life. MIFT, Indian Foreign Ministry, firstly summoned the diplomat in the national capital twice in 3 days to convey the deepest concern over the ongoing attack. And then External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar dialed US Secretary of State Marco Rubio to register India protests against American attack on the commercial ship. He told his American counterpart that such lethal action against commercial shipping are not justified. The US, far from a win and a doubtful of a peace accord with Iran, decided to brazen it out. White House responded by laying down that all the commercial vessels should immediately comply with the orders from US forces in the Strait of Hormuz, and that violation of the US blockade there in the key waterway and the illicit transport of the Iranian oil will not be tolerated by the United States. So that is the latest we are learning as far as the killing of 3 Indian sailors are concerned. On that, we have a breaking update coming in because the United States is coming under sharp criticism over the death of the 3 Indian sailors. We have a reaction coming in from the Congress MP Shashi Tharoor, who has now questioned US's response, asking how a friend can be so insensitive and saying that there has been no regret or condolences from US. He has also called American approach unacceptable. So that is the latest we're learning as far as Shashi Tharoor is concerned. He has taken to social media and has slammed, in fact, the United States for showing insensitivity as far as this entire incident is concerned, also questioning US's response, asking how a friend can be so insensitive, and also claiming that there has been no regret or condolences from the US. He has also called the approach completely unacceptable. All right, while the government deals with the tricky geopolitical situation, back at home, the political lights are out. Rahul Gandhi led the charge against the Prime Minister. He posted on social media that 3 Indian sailors, they have been killed in US attack on 3 ships in the international water within 3 days. And from the compromised Prime Minister, not a single word when any foreign power murders an Indian. The Prime Minister has to speak up, and he can never utter even a single word, is what Rahul Gandhi has said. In fact, the member of India bloc, including the Samajwadi Party, also questioned the Prime Minister's silence. The Bharatiya Janata Party has hit back, saying that the diplomatic relationship cannot run on the mood swings of the LOP, and whatever needs to be done for the safety and the security of the Indian nationals is already being done. Former Foreign Secretary and Rajya Sabha MP Harsh Shringla has said that Delhi did the right thing in the last few days. Listen in.
Our country's Prime Minister has not uttered a single word condemning the killing of Indians. And what is this way of calling an official of US Embassy and showing our displeasure by issuing a demarche or whatever it is called? ये क्या हो रहा भाई? Those people are pleading for help. That ship is on fire. You don't even come and help them. We must thank the Omani government for helping us. At least they came and rescued those people. Otherwise, all of them would have been dead by now.
Did you hear speaking our Honorable Prime Minister, the Bissu Guru? Why is silent? Why the BJP Bhakts think that the Prime Minister is only for him? I mean them. He's our Prime Minister also. And he's being insulted every now and then by the Trump and American administration.
देखिए ऐसा है कि सरकार ने बहुत स्ट्रांगली उसको कंडम भी किया है और देश के हित में, देश के लोगों के हित में, देश की सुरक्षा के हित में जो भी मजबूती के साथ कदम उठाने की जरूरत है, उठा रही है सरकार.
It is a very tragic occurrence, I would say, which led to the loss of 3 of our lives of 3 of our citizens in the Strait of Hormuz. But it is a conflict situation. There are risks involved, and I think we did the right thing by bringing this to the attention of the US authorities through a formal demand.
And earlier, US President Donald Trump accused Iran of attempting a drone attack on Indian ships leaving the Strait of Hormuz, calling the move totally unacceptable. The allegation comes amid heightened tensions in the important waterway that is the Strait of Hormuz. The US Military Central Command has also claimed that the crew of the vessel repeatedly failed to follow instruction issued by the American forces operating in the region. However, the ship's management company has now strongly denied the allegations. They have rejected claims that the vessel ignored the warnings of the US forces or it was carrying Iranian crude oil. The conflicting accounts have added to uncertainty over the situation in the Strait of Hormuz, a key global shipping route through which a significant portion of the world oil supply passes. Let me once again go across to Mr. Eric on this. How do you look at this? Because now US is facing a lot of backlash for the insensitivity, for not issuing condolences as far as the death of the three sailors are concerned, because now it is clear, and it is also clear through the social media post of the US Central Command, that they had indeed targeted the merchant vessel there. 3 Indian sailors have lost their life. Our External Affairs Minister spoke to Marco Rubio, but there was no condemnation of the attack. In fact, the statement that has come in is that everybody should respect the US blockade there in the key waterway. Your take on this?
Well, CENTCOM is reporting that that vessel specifically was attempting to transport Iranian oil to India, which is going to be problematic in this conflict, as the U.S. blockade is still in place, and Iran has their blockade of the Strait of Hormuz as well. So this was a risky thing for this vessel to do. Now, as Americans, we don't want to see lives lost. We don't want to see these 3 Indian individuals, perish at the hands of this war. That's not good for anybody. However, it did happen. Hopefully, I would like to see the White House make a statement of condolences on behalf of the White House towards the families of the perished. We would like to send positive energy towards those families in hopes that everything comes out well on their end. It's a tragedy. We don't want to see these things, yet in war they do happen. It's not to downplay the situation at all, but things happen sometimes. So we have to figure out how to prevent them from happening again, and hopefully by tomorrow we can get this deal signed, and then everything can free flow through the Strait of Hormuz.
Absolutely rightly pointed out by you that US must issue condolences as far as death of the 3 sailors are concerned. Stay on with us. We have another breaking update coming in.